Hey, what's up? Chin here from Code and Quick Tips. Today with the first video about graphical user interfaces in Java. In the upcoming videos you will learn how to use the Java Swing library to create GUIs in Java. In this first video we will take a look at creating a first window. To do this we will use a class called JFrame. In Swing actually window is represented by the class JFrame. I have just created a new project and created a main class with a main method. If we now want to create a new JFrame, we can just create a new class and call it whatever we want. I will call mine frame. Because this class should be an JFrame, we must tell this in our code. To do this, we can just let the class frame extends from the class JFrame. So let's write extends JFrame. With this line of code, we have just told our program that the frame class is a JFrame, and if it is a JFrame, it is a window. It still shows up an error because we need to import the Swing library. To do this, just write import javax.swing.star. Here we go. Now we have imported all the things out of the Swing library. If we start our program now, nothing will happen because we have actually not done anything in the main method. This will be the next step. We must display our window. To do this, we must create a new thread because normally you will start your GUI in an extra thread, because otherwise it can lead to strange problems. To do this, we will use the Swing utilities and a class of it called InvokeLater. So to actually create the thread, we will write Swing utilities dot InvokeLater. And this method will actually start our new thread. As an argument, it will take a thing called Runnable. So we must just type in new Runnable. What is a Runnable? A Runnable is basically a class which stands for an extra thread. So it's a class which can be executed in an extra thread. So here comes the tricky part. We must actually override a method called run inside of our new runnable object. To do this, we can use a bit of technique that is given by Java. So we can open up and close up brackets, and inside of these brackets we can actually redefine specific methods of that object. So in our case we want to redefine the run method because we want to actually do something if the thread runs. In our case we want to show our frame if the thread runs. Therefore we can just override the public void run method from the class Runnable. There we go. Now we have actually created a new thread with a run method in which we can now create our GUI. We will still see some errors because we have not imported Swing here. So, as before, just type import javax.swing.star. Okay, there we go. What those lines of code do basically is they create a new thread in which we can then actually start our GUI. So, to start our GUI, we just define a new object of the type frame, which is our frame. Therefore, just type frame and give it a name, for example frame, equals new frame. Now we have created a new instance of our frame, of a frame object inside of our extra thread. If we now start the program, you will notice that nothing happens, because our frame is actually not visible. To do this, we can just type frame.setVisible. This method is really important because it tells the program to actually make the frame visible at this point. As an argument, it will take if the frame should be visible or not. In our case, it's clear we want to see the frame. So let's click play, and whoa. There we go. I've got a panel here, or a frame here. So that's the frame that we have actually created, but you will notice if the program starts, it will look like this, and it has actually no size. It's only the top bar. To change this, we can change some properties of the frame class or of our JFrame. To do this, we write a standard constructor into the frame, so public frame, and there we go. In this method, we can now define some certain things or some properties of our JFrame or of our window. To do this, you can use the methods given by JFrame. A good tip is just to write this dot, and then you can see all the methods that are provided by JFrame. The important methods right now are the setter methods. So for example, set size. With this method we can set the default size of our window. In my case I will say 400 to 400 pixels. If we now start the program again, you will see that the actually window has the size 400 by 400 pixels. You may notice I closed, or you may not notice, I closed the window, but our program is still running. And that's a big problem. You must handle with this, because if you don't change this and you give your GUI program to someone else, you will see that it will end up messy, because the program actually does not stop if you close the program, and that's not good. To change this, we can also change some properties of the frame. So just write this dot set default close operator. With this method we can say what should happen if the frame is closed. So we have do nothing on close. That's what we do right now, but that's not cool. We want to actually set that we exit on close. And to do this, we can use exit on close constant given by the JFrame. So type JFrame dot exit on close. With this line of code, we told our window that it should exit or that it should stop the actual thread that we have created here if our frame is closed. You can now see I started the program, and with the red button here you can see that it's running. And if I now close it, the whole program closes because we have no more threads in here. That's quite good, but you may ask yourself, why the hell is the default close operator do nothing? Because normally we always want to close a window if we close it. That's why some programs want to actually not be closed if you close the window of them, because some tools just go into your they just minimize if you close them, and therefore the default operator is not exit on close. But please always write this line if you don't want to make any special things, because if you forget this line of code, that's very annoying for guys who get your program, because it will mess up the system, because every time they start and close your program, the thread of your program will actually remain even if it's closed, and that's not good. Yes, that's it for the first tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. You would help me a lot if you could rate the video, leave me a comment with feedback, or subscribe to me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.